Every New Year's Eve, a widowed billionaire sat in the same café, ordered 2 dinners, and protected 1 empty seat, until a single mother and her little girl sat there, and uncovered a truth he was never meant to face. At 6:47 every New Year's Eve, the Lighthouse Cafe held the same corner booth, even when people lined up outside in the January cold. No fanfare, no brass nameplate, just a folded cloth napkin, a flickering tea light, and 1 seat deliberately left vacant. Vincent Ashford arrived alone, as he had for 4 years. 73 years old, real estate magnate, the kind of name that made financial journalists lean forward during interviews. He wore a charcoal overcoat dusted with fresh snow. He brushed the flakes away with methodical strokes, then stopped mid-motion as though he'd forgotten what came next. The hostess approached with practiced gentleness. "Your booth, Mr. Ashford." A young couple near the entrance noticed him. The woman leaned toward her companion. "That's Vincent Ashford. Comes here once a year. Just sits." Her partner shrugged. "Rich people are weird." A server balancing trays paused nearby. "He lost his daughter. Same night 4 years back. Boating accident. Never recovered." Vincent slid into the booth. The opposite seat remained untouched, angled slightly outward as if someone might still arrive. He stared at it, then reached for his water glass but misjudged the distance. His fingers grasped air. He corrected quickly, jaw tight, embarrassed by his own distraction. The staff moved around him like water around stone. No one offered condolences. They'd learned that sympathy made him retreat further. He ordered what they used to share, 2 entrees, 2 sets of silverware. When the second fork appeared with a soft metallic tap, Vincent's expression hardened. A worn leather journal sat beside his plate. He never opened it, just ran his thumb along its spine repeatedly. Inside was a photograph he'd stopped showing anyone. Him and his daughter at the same booth, both grinning like the future was a sure thing. Near the kitchen, the manager hovered, pretending to review reservations. She did this every New Year's Eve, briefing new employees. Leave him be unless he signals otherwise. Vincent's phone lit up with a scheduled reminder. Video call with Sarah, 7:15. His daughter's name, still programmed, still waiting. He flipped the phone face down without hesitation now. Outside, streetlights cast yellow pools on wet pavement. Families bundled in winter coats pushed through the doors, their laughter too bright, too close. Vincent listened as if trying to recall how joy sounded when you were part of it. He checked his watch, not because the time mattered, but because the second hand kept sweeping forward and that felt cruel. Then a child's voice broke through. "Excuse me, sir?" Vincent looked up. The world he'd carefully constructed cracked open. The girl stood beside the booth, hands clasped nervously. She was maybe 7, drowning in a jacket 2 sizes too large. Her sneakers were soaked through. Her gaze held steady on Vincent, cautious but determined, the way children look at adults they're not sure they can trust. Behind her stood a woman in her early 30s, exhaustion etched into her features. She hovered protectively, already mouthing an apology. "I told her not to disturb you," the woman said quickly, voice barely above a whisper. Vincent didn't respond immediately. The girl's question hung in the air, reaching him on a delay. "Sir," she repeated, quieter now, "my mama says New Year's isn't for being alone." Someone at a nearby table snickered. A man muttered, "Kids have no filter." Vincent felt something tighten in his chest, sharp and unwelcome. He glanced at the empty seat. The gap between the child's words and his silence felt unbearably familiar. He cleared his throat. "What is it you want?" The girl gestured toward the vacant space across from him. "Could we maybe sit close to you? Not at your table if you don't want. Just nearby." The woman's face flushed. "I promise she's not trying to. We can go." Vincent studied them, not with suspicion, just observation. The woman's hands trembled as she clutched her purse. The girl leaned protectively toward her mother despite being the smaller of the two. He surprised himself. "Sit." He gestured to the empty seat. "Both of you." The woman froze. "Are you certain?" Vincent nodded once. The word felt heavy but correct. They sat. The girl's weight made the leather creak, a sound Vincent hadn't heard in years. He flinched before he could control it. "What's your name?" Vincent asked. "Lily," the girl said. "That's my mama, Grace." Grace smiled, guarded. "Thank you. Truly." Conversation began awkwardly. School. Snow. The upcoming year. Lily talked rapidly, filling silences. Vincent found himself responding, correcting small details, even smiling when Lily described a disastrous attempt to bake cookies. A server whispered to another passing by, "He's actually talking." Someone at the bar nudged their companion. "That kid's got guts." Food arrived. Vincent pushed a plate toward Lily without thinking. The girl looked to her mother for permission. Grace nodded. They ate slowly. The ambient noise of the restaurant seemed to soften around them. Vincent noticed how Grace portioned her food carefully, how she counted each bite, how Lily pretended not to notice. Laughter escaped Vincent suddenly when Lily finished his joke before he could. Rough and unpracticed but real. When they stood to leave, the girl looked back at him. Vincent watched them exit, his smile dissolving into something more contemplative. That night, after the cafe emptied, Vincent made a phone call. The report arrived before sunrise. Vincent read it standing in his study, coat still on, only the tablet's glow illuminating his face. He read it once, then again more slowly, as if speed might alter reality. Grace Harper, 33. No criminal record. No spouse listed. No marriage certificate on file. No death certificate linked to her name. Current address flagged for overdue rent. 2 notices for disconnected utilities. Several debts under informal lending arrangements. Interest rates flagged as predatory. Associated names flagged as concerning. His assistant appeared in the doorway, reading his expression. "Coffee?" "No," Vincent said, too sharp. He softened it. "Thank you." The missing husband troubled him. Not suspicion, absence. People left trails, even careful ones. He invited Grace and Lily to dinner the following week. Not at the cafe, at his home. He framed it as gratitude, offered Grace temporary work handling correspondence. No strings attached. Grace accepted cautiously, like someone testing thin ice. That evening, Vincent watched them arrive from the terrace. Lily gazed up at the house with wonder. Grace's shoulders tensed. Dinner passed cordially. Conversation remained safe. Vincent waited. After dessert, he set down his spoon. "Before this continues," he said evenly, "I need honesty." Grace stiffened. "About what?" "Your past. Your husband." Lily looked between them, confused. Grace inhaled slowly, steadily. Then she spoke. She'd met her husband at the Lighthouse Cafe. Charming but secretive. Claimed he had no family. Called himself an only child with deceased parents. After Lily was born, he insisted they return every New Year's Eve. Same booth, same time. Said it was a tradition from his mother. Vincent felt his chest constrict. "The night he died," Grace continued, "he said he had something crucial to tell me. He never got the chance." The date landed like a physical blow. Vincent stood abruptly. The chair scraped harshly against marble. "What was his name?" he demanded. Grace said it. Vincent's vision narrowed. "That's my daughter," he said sharply. "My daughter died 4 years ago. She never married. Never had a child." Grace's face went white. "I didn't know who you were." "Enough," Vincent interrupted, his voice rising. Staff members froze mid-task. "You came here to exploit a grieving man, using a child as bait." Lily shrank back, eyes wide. Grace stood, trembling. "That's not." "Leave," Vincent said. "Now." They left without argument. No shouting, no drama. Just footsteps receding into silence. That night, Vincent sat alone again. His phone buzzed with the same reminder. Video call with Sarah, 7:15. He didn't flip it over. Sleep eluded him. Vincent lay awake staring at shadows, replaying the moment Grace spoke the name, his daughter's name. How it fell from her lips without rehearsal, without calculation. He rose before dawn and paced the corridors, bare feet cold against tile. The house felt cavernous, hollow. Every framed photograph became an indictment. Sarah at 6. Sarah at 14. Sarah at that same café, laughing with food still in her mouth. I have something crucial to tell you. The words haunted him like tinnitus. By mid-morning, Vincent called his attorney. His tone was measured, controlled. He spoke of fraud, of exploitation, of legal safeguards. There was a pause on the line. Vincent, the attorney said carefully, there's something you need to know. The truth emerged in fragments. Before her death, Sarah had called the firm anxious, urgent. She'd asked to register a woman and child as family. Legally, discreetly, she'd begged for time. She was terrified. Terrified of disappointing her father. Terrified of being cut off. Vincent sat down heavily. The attorney continued. She planned to tell you that New Year's Eve. She never got the chance. The room tilted. Vincent ended the call and remained motionless, hands gripping the desk edge. He had driven his daughter away without ever knowing it. He drove himself to Grace's address. The building was half abandoned. A neighbor smoking on the steps watched him approach. She moved, the woman said. Didn't say where. Looked scared. Vincent searched quietly, methodically. When he finally found her, Grace opened the door already defensive, already exhausted. He spoke first. No accusations, no anger. Just facts. Confession. Apology. Grace listened without interruption. Her hands trembled, but she didn't cry. When he finished, she exhaled slowly. She lied. But now it makes sense. They agreed to a DNA test. Practical, concrete, something definitive. While they waited, Vincent saw Lily regularly. Board games at the kitchen table. Aquarium visits. Quiet lunches at the Lighthouse Café. The girl swinging her legs beneath the seat her mother once occupied. Staff whispered again, differently this time. He's smiling, someone noted. Vincent caught himself laughing aloud one afternoon. The sound startled him. When the envelope arrived, he didn't open it immediately. I already know, he said quietly. Then he did. The paper trembled slightly in Vincent's hands. Not from fear, from weight. Grace watched from across the room, arms folded, steady but braced. Lily sat cross-legged on the floor arranging dominoes, humming softly, unaware her world was about to shift. Vincent read the first line, then the percentage, 99.97%. He lowered the page without speaking. His throat closed. For a moment he pressed his lips together the way he always had when emotion threatened to surface. Old reflex, old armor. Grace didn't rush him. She'd learned patience through hardship. Vincent finally looked at Lily. Really looked, the way she frowned when concentrating. The familiar tilt of her head. The same hands. Sarah's hands. I should have known, Vincent said quietly. Sarah always did things half terrified. Lily glanced up. Did I win? Vincent laughed. A soft, fractured sound. He knelt with effort and pulled the girl into an uncertain embrace. Awkward at first, then firmer. Lily hesitated, then wrapped her arms around his neck without question. From the kitchen doorway, his assistant wiped her eyes and turned away. That New Year's Eve, the booth at Lighthouse Café held 3 seats filled. The staff noticed immediately. No empty space. No extra fork. Bystanders whispered, but the tone had changed. That must be his granddaughter, someone said. Vincent didn't correct them. He raised his glass. Not in toast, just acknowledgement. Grace met his eyes and nodded. Not gratitude. Understanding. The calendar reminder buzzed at 7:15. Video call with Sarah. Vincent deleted it. Later, when the cafe lights dimmed and snow pressed against the windows, Vincent realized something simple and profound. For the first time in 4 years, he wasn't counting minutes. He wasn't waiting. He was present.